Welcome to the Prem Pulse Podcast World Cup edition with your host Neil Samaru, a long-time West Ham fan, and Barry O'Brien, a retro 80s Arsenal supporter. Hello, Barry. World Cup fever still with us, sir. Well, at least England are still in it.
England still going strong, mate. Absolutely. Can't wait for the next game. But yeah, it's been good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot of things happening since our last edition, actually.
It has, hasn't it? We've been working hard and doing a few bits and pieces, haven't we? But yeah, it's a lot happened. I think we've seen the back of quite a few stars, haven't we? We'll come on to later. But I think kicking off, we have to, in tradition, highlight our Nordic Player of the Week, and I think we can't really look beyond Haaland again, can we?
Well,
Erling Haaland, 2 goals, putting Norway through to the quarterfinals,
yeah.
knocking out Brazil. Mad, isn't it?
Booyah!
Yeah, mad, isn't it? It's
Huge result. You
didn't
know,
really do a lot in
Norway.
the game though. Did you see that game? But
I did watch it. I did watch it.
yeah,
Firstly, Norway beat Brazil in the '98 World Cup. I think that was the last World Cup they were in, and they beat them in that World Cup
yeah, beat them 2-1, didn't
as
they?
well. I did watch the game, mate. What can I remember? That's the problem.
I remember.
The fact is, okay, put it this way: I was not that impressed by Brazil
No,
at all. I was impressed by Norway. I got very frustrated with Norway in parts of the game, but for large portions of the game, when I felt just take the game to Brazil, just attack them, just be aggressive
yeah,
defensively. But they passing the ball sideways and back, and we talked about it before. Because I think if they were more aggressive offensively, they would have won that no problem. Uh,
mm.
to be honest with
They had
you,
a good goal disallowed as well, right, early on.
yeah. Yeah. So, but then going back to Haaland, I mean, by the way, Norway, and we'll talk about Norway because obviously England played Norway the next round. Mhm.
Hmm.
But two brilliant goals by Haaland, mate. I
Yeah,
mean, boom, the header, great cross. And then when he just on the
second
outside of
one
the
was.
box.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the first one because he basically outdone my guy, Gabriel Magalhaes, right, the Arsenal defender, who they love their battles in the Prem, but
Yeah.
he outmaneuvered Gabriel to get the header for the first goal, and the second one, to be honest, I think it was just lazy defending. Nobody closed him down, and he got his shot away, from the edge of the box, went through players' legs and in, and
Boom, inside the
yeah,
post though, mate. But it was so clinical. He, one touch, looked up and went bang. Like I said,
just
no one
smacked him.
closing down.
No, but Brazil had chances, right? I mean, the goalie had a blinder,
Did.
didn't he? I mean, the goal Norwegian goalkeepers had
Yes.
a really good tournament. I don't actually know which club he plays for. Do you know which one?
God, I remember I was trying. We should have actually Googled this before or found out before.
But we never do research, Neil. You know that.
But I was meant to do it at the time of watching it. I was like, who's this guy
We
playing for? I'm thinking,
we
is
do it
it
mid-show.
Milan? Is it a Dutch club? Because he kind of looks familiar.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Maybe we need to do it. By the way,
I'll do it
yes,
now. You talk, and I'll Google.
yeah. By the way, I do agree with you. Brazil did have chances, but it's just we always think about the Brazilian team, how creative they are, how fast they are on attack, but maybe just this kind of mystical kind of awe around Brazil, as we know, but it hasn't been the truth for many, many years, actually, in terms of their style of play. And then you look at Ancelotti and being a manager. But you're right,
Yeah,
they did have a number of chances, and the goalkeeper did brilliantly well. Allison had to make a few also interventions himself to stop Norway scoring. But that's why I said if Norway had kept up that pace and aggression offensively, Norway could have won that game quite easily. I mean, they won it 2-0 in the end. 2-1 because Neymar scored the penalty. So there's a bit of a thing with the goalkeeper there as well. Mm. So who's
yeah.
away?
Neymar. I mean, that's one of the things kind of wanted to touch on. Like this World Cup has probably seen the end of quite a few era players, hasn't it? Ronaldo's been knocked out. Modric's been knocked out. Um, yeah, Neymar,
Neymar.
as you said,
Mm.
it's a bit of an end of an era.
And very close with Argentina the other day on Tuesday as well for Messi. So they made the great escape, which we will talk maybe more about as well. Can you find out
This
the
goalie was at Aston Villa for a while, but apparently at the moment he's at Molde.
the Norwegian team?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh no, he's not. That's rubbish. He
Oh.
was there. He's at Sevilla, Spain.
Ah,
He was at Villa, Norwich, Bournemouth, Reading, and yeah, he started his career at Hood in Norway. They went to Molde, and now he's at Sevilla. So that could
mm,
be where we've perhaps seen him in one of the European tournaments.
cool.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Knowledgeable. Um, but yeah, it's going back to as you're saying that kind of Norway performance. I don't know really whether they've like got enough to get past England. Like, can't just rely on Haaland all the time, right? I mean,
Why not? He scored, was it 6 goals now? Oh,
yeah, but of course he's going to be playing. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know what your thoughts are, but he's obviously going to be playing against teammates at least Gahey and at least O'Reilly. You'd think. I doubt John Stones will play, but he could potentially be playing against three Man City defenders who would know him well, but also he would know them well. So
exactly. And he knows the other English players well because
yeah,
he plays week in, week out with them. And you
yeah,
talk about the Gabriel tussle that they've been having over the years. He took throughout that game, Gabriel didn't come close to Haaland at all. Haaland just outmuscled him in
yeah,
all these encounters, actually. The one in particular where he just basically backed into it because I pushed him off and then was able to get the ball and pass it on.
hmm,
I was surprised actually. Maybe Gabriel's been really careful not to get a yellow card or and if something worse.
yeah, could be.
So going back to your question about do you think it's a positive or a negative for England that playing against Haaland? Firstly, Haaland, top player. I think this is also being discussed, so it's a valid question. He's very used to English players. He knows them very well.
Yeah,
He scored bundles of goals against all teams in the Premiership over the past
yeah,
couple of seasons. So I think he's licking his lips at
yeah,
the prospect,
yeah.
actually.
So we're just going to have to outscore them, basically, aren't we? I think is is how it's going to work. But I think after the Mexico game, so just touch on that. Obviously, England won 3-2 away in Mexico against Mexico at the Azteca. Um, high
Come
altitude,
on, England.
one of the best games I think England have had in a tournament. I think some people are
Yeah.
saying it's the best England game since '66, which
Yeah,
seems
I know there's a lot of
quite dramatic. I mean, it was great. I mean, we went down to 10 men, of course. Quanta getting sent off, but don't know since '66. I enjoyed. I mean, what other ones have been good? I mean, the one against Holland in the Euros. Remember when England beat them 4-1?
yeah,
Germany
Germany
away for beating them
5-1.
5-1.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
So it's up there, top five, I suppose, isn't
mm,
it? Considering.
yeah.
By the way, this we continue the conversation about this, but I just want to say to all the fans, our listeners out there, we did stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
started at
kickoff
three
was
because it was
kickoff
delayed
was at
by an
3. Yeah.
hour. So that's three
Yeah.
o'clock Swedish time. And then I was like, at 1:30, I went, right, I'm gonna go to bed, have a little lie down, listen to a pod, and set my alarm. And I get in a rude text message of you calling me a plastic fan. So I was like, right, gotta do it, gotta do it. And it was so worthwhile staying up for, mate.
It
And
was
I was
worth it.
exhausted emotionally and also physically from being so
Physically.
tired. But boy,
Yeah, it was worth it, wasn't it? And it was kind of weird here in Stockholm as well because it obviously gets light at like 2 in the morning. So by the time the
yeah,
game finished, it was like bright sunshine. It could have been
yeah,
midday. It was quite funny,
exactly.
wasn't it? Going
But
to
it took
sleep.
me some time to recover. It took me a day and a half to like get back to. I don't even know if my sleeping patterns back to
I think
normal.
no, I think this whole World Cup has ruined sleeping patterns, isn't it? Games
Uh,
kicking off at midnight our time, and you say 2 in the morning. Well, then got delayed to 3. Um, yeah, I
yeah,
think
but going back to the game, mate. I mean, like you said, there's been a lot of positive comments coming back from the UK press and commentators about best game England's ever played since '66. I don't know about that, but it was a good game. What were your thoughts about the game itself, the England performance and
yeah, I
Mexico?
think it.
And
No, I think it. Yeah, I can't you can't fault anybody. I mean, obviously Mexico statistically hadn't lost there, or hadn't even let a goal in this whole World Cup, and then sort of beyond that, it was like 2 losses in 89 matches at that stadium. Altitude was being discussed. Are the players going to run out of gas? Mexican fans outside the hotel. there was even talk, wasn't there, before the game about them moving the time earlier. So there was
Yeah,
disruption on top of disruption, wasn't it? The
yeah.
smog, apparently, like people were saying, the air in Mexico City is so bad that players are going to be, struggling for oxygen. Didn't see any of that. Even the players that kind of afterwards are like, no, I didn't really notice it. First 20 minutes were a little bit,
Yeah.
tricky, but yeah, just kind of carried
They
on.
overcame all of those challenges. And I think that's, like you said, the build up to it, you were hearing all of these things,
Mm,
factors. And yet, like you said, it didn't seem to affect them whatsoever. Instead, they were really up for it. And the way Mexico came out, from
yeah,
the first whistle, from
yeah.
kickoff, my God, how aggressive they were.
But England was smart though in their tactics because everybody kind of knew that Mexico traditionally start this way, right? The first 20 minutes they go out at teams trying to score early. England kept the ball, like they just kind of like Mexico were trying to break them down. England were passing it around them. Kind of got to that first water break, and yeah, I don't think Mexico had many chances. I think
No, but
possibly one where Pickford saved it, but
yeah,
it
you're
wasn't
right.
excellent.
You're
And
absolutely
then we
right.
ramped it up and went 2-0 up, of course.
But you're right. But the thing for me was about the aggressive nature, and we're going to discuss this, I think, a little bit as well in the pod, if not now. The aggressive nature about the way Mexico went about their game, the strategy, the tactics. They were going in hard in the tackles, mate.
Mm.
And there are fouls. The referee was blowing up, wasn't blowing up. So
Yeah,
those first early minutes, I was like, aha, this is going to be one of those games. And the England players really kept their heads, but they were also not shy in the tackle either.
no,
They
you don't
stood
remember you
their
say that.
ground.
Remember you've probably forgotten this, but Declan Rice got booked after 1 minute. Do you remember that?
Yes.
When so he was like spent the whole game on a yellow, which is very good self control. Remember because he sort of went
Yeah.
for the ball and the guy ducked his head down and he didn't make
That's,
contact with him. He still
and then
booked
and
him.
then after that, I was waiting for the one of the Mexican team players to get a yellow card. It took
Yeah,
ages for a Mexican player to get a yellow
he
card. I was
did.
like,
Yeah, that's
what's
right.
going on here?
They were in the ref's ears, shouting around him all the time and kind
All
of
the time.
bullying him, and they didn't get a single yellow, did they? He
Yeah.
didn't, he didn't kind of clamp down on the play acting and stuff as well. Do you see that bit when one guy was acting like he'd been elbowed in the face by O'Reilly and like
Yeah, yeah,
trying
yeah.
to, trying to get players sent off, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you've noticed this. You said before we came on air that you're seeing this kind of a little bit of a trend in South American teams in the way that they approach games, a little bit of the dark arts.
In this
You've
latter part of the
noticed?
competition, absolutely. And I've just made a note here, it's sportsmanship.
Mm,
And about the way you go about setting your stall out and what you want to do. And I have to say that watching the France-Paraguay game, I was not very impressed at all about the way Paraguay went about. They were also very physical against France and kicking and asking for exactly what I say Mexico did, in my eyes, anyway. And I think the
mm,
French handled it again well, but they were also getting wound up by some of the calls that weren't being made by the
mm.
referee and so on. You're getting kicked to high heaven, to be
Were they?
honest.
Yeah, I didn't see that game much.
Yeah, and so I had to make a mental note about this. So obviously it was the France Paraguay game, and then it was the England Mexico, and then we had the game on Tuesday, Argentina Egypt. So for those of you who don't know, just remind you, France went on to win 1-0 with an Mbappe penalty. We'll come back to that because there was some controversy regarding there's so many controversies right now happening in football.
Yeah,
But I also just about the aggressiveness or the sportsmanship or lack of. I thought Argentina were a bit nasty as well in those latter stages of the game, especially when it went 2-0 down with the foul in the play acting against Egypt.
but like I said to you though, this is like pretty normal in in South American football in general.
Mm,
If you watch their leagues, and well, I think it's quite normal in a lot of leagues outside of Europe. Certain ways of behaving that just doesn't happen in the European leagues. But in South America, I mean, South American teams have always
yeah,
been, even go back to like Uruguay and like against England in like '66, wasn't it? '70s and like
yeah,
Argentina and that. It's always been a degree of like rough and tumble, shall we say?
yeah.
But that's just their style of football. Sometimes, perhaps that's their, even if you talk about Simeone, right, with
Mm,
Argentina, with getting Beckham sent off and that
mm,
ridiculous situation. It's
absolutely.
just stuff's always gone.
Yeah, you're right. I
Suarez with
mean,
Uruguay. And,
Mm. But also another thing is that FIFA wanted the game to flow, so they're not being blowing
Yeah,
up for everything, isn't it? So there's been that
no,
kind of
I've got no
directive.
problem with. I mean, I think in general, I think that's
I
quite good. But what you want is balance, and there was definitely an
Yes,
imbalance in the England Mexico game. The referee, and I think even Tuchel said something about that, like having another referee from that part of America, because obviously Mexico don't technically count as South America, right? They're the CONCACAF, aren't they? I think the US.
yeah, Central America, but
Yeah,
still.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it was some biased refereeing. But you're right. That's how South American teams and Central American teams go about it. But I think they definitely employ that tactic against, like I said, France and England, because obviously the top teams and kind of favorites, so to speak. So what
yeah,
can they do to knock them off their stride? Well, I tell you what, let's just kick them, like I said, to high heaven,
yeah,
get someone sent off, get some bookings, wind the players up. But England handled it extremely well.
yeah,
Too. And like I said, they were knocking about the ball, and the fact that they also had to play that game because Kwanzaa got sent off early on in the second half, didn't he?
yeah. 50-second or something minute, wasn't it? So they ended up playing 11 minutes of extra time as well.
He leapt crazy.
I don't know where that come from, but he actually went into like 13 in the end, didn't he? I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. And like I said,
Yeah.
we're watching it live and thinking, are you serious? And I just had to kind of sit down and go, and I sent you a text to say during the game to say they basically want Mexico to go through, obviously as a host
Mm,
as well. It's like all the cards were kind of stacked against England, but we overcame it.
yeah.
And they overcame it brilliantly as well. And by the way, that when Mexico were searching for that equalizer, it they didn't trouble England at all, really. When they had Stones
No.
on, Konza went out to the right because now we're desperate. I think Reece James might be back for the Norway game for right back position. So they all
I
did well. Spence
believe that
came
was it.
on and he's been criticised as
Dan
well for
Burn
his
as well.
performance.
Dan Burn came on, was lumping headers away up past the halfway line and stuff, wasn't
They were all the players afterwards like all over Dan Burn, isn't it? Like
he? Yeah.
congratulating him. Also, the end of the first half when Bellingham, we've got to talk about Bellingham as well. I think we've got two world superstars, isn't it? Bellingham, Kane. I like Rice. He's world class as well. I mean, we got some players, but Dunk, boom, just like came in. But it's like there, he was just put his body
Oh,
on the line, didn't it?
Burn, you mean?
Burn, Dunk.
Burn. Yeah.
Burn, yeah, Dan Burn.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Got
Well,
his got his moment, didn't he? And but that's again Tuchel. Don't like to compare against Southgate, but he just seems so much more switched on. What I'd forgotten about Tuchel, heard somebody talking on a podcast, was that when he was at Paris Saint-Germain as manager, he was managing Neymar and Messi and Mbappe, right? So he's also managed these egos and these kind
yeah.
of superstar players, right? You sort of forget that. And he's
True.
been he's been at Bayern where he was working with Kane, and obviously at Chelsea as well. So he's a solid manager, and that's what gives me more confidence as well. I think as it goes on,
Can I add
tactically.
something? Right.
Mm,
And you see him shouting and screaming at the sideline as well, and getting peed off at the players when they don't do something. He's like,
yeah.
I think there were two throw-ons. What, ah, is it O'Reilly?
O'Reilly, yeah, I saw that. O'Reilly,
He
like
was like,
twice.
twice, what are you
Yeah,
doing? Twice,
yeah,
So he's not scared to like voice his opinion from the sidelines,
no,
from the touchline, which is great to see as well, that passion and aggression
yeah,
from him. Uh,
exactly. And I think his right hand man, this Scouse guy, I can't remember what his name is, but
yeah.
very he's very shrewd as well. Like I think he knows his stuff and well respected in the game as well. So I think they've got a good managerial team there. I think as well they predicted what the Mexicans were going to do right in those last 15 minutes, and that's why it was just so good to kind of go to that back five and have like Dan Burn there and Stones, who even Pickford was really coming out punching a lot and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then Jed Spence was out on the left, kind of stopping crosses coming in as well. And so I think it was a really good team performance. Saka got the assist. I think it was a great assist. It's good to see
With his
him.
right foot, see what he can do, and he just puts
Yeah,
come turn back in and takes on the right, and his right foot puts
yeah,
set Bellingham for a beauty of a goal.
yeah. I still think that was meant for Kane, but
Probably.
went over Kane's head, didn't it? And Bellingham came in at the back and headed it in. But
Yeah.
That man, just as a winger, you got to put him in the right spaces and let people attack him, and that's what
Exactly.
Bellingham
By
did.
the
But I think
way,
Anthony
go on.
Gordon, I was just going to say to kind of wrap up. I think Anthony Gordon's best game for England as well. So quick, obviously won that penalty, got the assist for Kane in the previous match, didn't he? When Kane
Yeah.
scored,
He caused them
did this.
loads of problems. I mean, he was a big reason
Oh,
again why we played really well because he was taking the ball, taking on the defender,
yeah,
crossing it in, causing them problems as well. I think you use a really good word regarding the England management, and talking about Tuchel. He's a very shrewd manager indeed. He
mm,
knows what he's doing, and during the hydration breaks, I think this is why we talk about like how to set up and how we kind of reorganized and spoke with them. And this is not the first time he's demonstrated that, and they've
no,
come out and played, as well. But Gordon, Rice, Kane came off quite close and near to the end, but they played the whole game, huh? Gordon and Rice.
mm,
So I have to, my hats off, obviously, and the defenders too, but very impressed. And Bellingham, but they
yeah,
were able to manage the whole game. So that was brilliant that they were able to stay on the pitch and see it through.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, amazing. So on to Norway. Like, what's your first thoughts on that game? It's Saturday night, isn't it? 11 o'clock at night, our time here.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
I think it's going to be a difficult game for England. Norway obviously going to go for it. I think they play good football. When they knock the ball about, they actually play good football. That's why I said I got frustrated with them when they weren't just attacking going forward because they do have that attacking threat.
Yeah,
As we've spoken about, and as you mentioned, also the weak part of the England team is the defence, and then adding to that, Haaland. So
yeah.
I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think we will win it either 2-1 or 3-2, something like that.
We'll
It's going to be
outscore them.
goals.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I agree. I think I think Haaland's probably likely to score, right? But I just think our forwards. I think they don't have the best defence. I think we've got better players in lots of positions.
Mm, mm,
I think our defence is better than their defence. I think Kane's equal to Haaland, so I think they
yeah,
could be equally. I think Anderson's really good at breaking up play, so I don't know how much time Erdegaard's going to get on the ball. I mean, if he doesn't get on the ball much, then they don't create a lot, right? I mean, this is the
yeah,
thing. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty confident, just as long as we take our chances and stuff. And I think the right back situation is a little bit tricky, isn't it? Because obviously Qantas out for a one match ban.
yeah. And
Um,
then, but I read that
you said
Reece
Reece James might be
James,
back.
yeah, might be back uh,
Okay,
as well. No, I think we have more than enough to beat Norway, but hopefully this won't be one of those frustrating games. That's what I'm hoping for as well,
they
because they're
might.
not great defensively, like you said, and we have good players in defense. Konza and Gay,
Yeah.
top, they're good players. Just have
Mm.
to handle Haaland, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. But I mean, we've seen people do it, right? I mean, he just didn't score. Doesn't score every game in for Man City, right? So people can crowd him out. So yeah, just got to not give him that space, right? Isn't it? That's the
Mm,
thing. And I think as well, it's going to be apparently a big England crowd because it's in Miami, and I reckon at least like 30, 40,000 England fans will be there. So it's going to be a nice energy vibe for
yeah,
England.
and it's the semi-final spot is there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. In semi-final, Switzerland or Argentina, right?
Hmm.
Imagine if Switzerland beat them, which I think they could. I don't think Argentina are that great. Switzerland are very organised.
Absolutely. They were lucky against Egypt, mate. I'll tell you what, I
Against
mean, they scored
Switzerland for a
three
World Cup
goals.
final place.
Say again.
Imagine England against Switzerland for a place in the World Cup final. My goodness.
Like I said, Switzerland are not a bad team at all.
No.
As well. By the way, they said they've made this draw so the Messi to get through to the final as well. All these conspiracy theories. Because you mentioned players being knocked out, and I don't know if it's the time we should go on to the kind of controversies in the World Cup or not.
Let's wrap up the football, then we'll get on to the controversies.
Yeah, but that's nice to hear there's going to be a big English contingent out there. uh,
Mm.
as well.
And what about on the other side of it? So, as I just mentioned, so the kind of outside of the draw, you've got England against Norway and and Argentina, Switzerland. So the winners of those two will play each other. On the other side, and starting tonight, isn't it? France against Morocco,
Ooh. Ooh.
Spain v Belgium. So Belgium have suddenly woken up and found themselves in the quarterfinals
Well,
after a
and this
terrible
will
start.
be a bit later to move into the segue of controversial things happening in the World Cup. Belgium, yeah, 4-1 against USA.
USA. Mm.
And you know what's fun about the France-Morocco? Obviously, the history between there's a huge Moroccan diaspora in France, isn't it? As well, and the
Yeah,
players
and that was the
are
semi-final
mainly.
last year as well, right?
Yeah, and
The
a lot
last
of the
World Cup.
players, the Moroccan players, were born and brought up in France as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Too. They went through the French football systems as well.
Yeah,
So it's almost like a French derby.
A team versus B team.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you fancy Morocco to get anything out of that though? I think it
I
could be
can't wait for
possible.
that game. I'm so gonna make sure I'm sat in front of that TV and get the kids to bed or so I can
Keep me
watch
on.
it. It's going to be a good game. France, like I said, they're just awesome team, actually, watching them play. But Morocco, also a very good team. So I think it'd be a tight game, Barry, but I see France going through.
France
What do you
edging it.
think?
I think Morocco might upset them.
Mm,
I think
wouldn't
there
be
might
surprised.
might
Wouldn't,
be an upset.
you know, it's not an impossible,
No,
at all. An
so
impossibility.
no.
Not at all. So it's going to be a good game to watch, hopefully. A footballing game, where they come out and play football. And I
Mm.
think with Norway, England, if I just go back, the two teams will play football. They won't be kicking lumps out of each other. They will try to go and play football.
Yeah,
Going back to what I said earlier about the South American, Central American team. So that's what
yeah,
I'm looking forward to, games of football and
yeah.
UFC.
So what have you been noticing then? What's been on your mind? Obviously, the big one you just touched on was USA uh, playing Belgium with their striker, former Arsenal player Balogun, who was given a red card in the round of 32, which was overruled. Tell us about it, Mr. Samaru. What happened?
Well, hugely controversial. Seems like the friendship between Trump and Infantino really came to bear because Trump
FIFA
admitted that he
president,
called. Sorry.
the FIFA president,
Yes, Infantino, who presented Trump with the FIFA World Peace Prize.
first one ever.
These things. So Trump admitted. So basically, FIFA suspended the red card. And then it came out, and Trump was not shy to say it in a press conference or when he was there. He said, "Yeah, I called him and he turned the card over as I asked him to because it was the right thing to do. The red card was maybe a bit harsh because he stepped on the player's foot.
Yeah, it wasn't really a red, was it? It was a
No,
yellow, probably, but
understand that, but a red card is a red card.
unprecedented action by FIFA, though, wasn't it?
Exactly, and the fact that Trump also admitted it as
Has he
well.
come out and admitted it? Because I haven't seen that.
Yeah. He said, yeah, I called him. And then, he did the right thing. And he said, it's never a red card. And the funny thing is about Trump and the football, because obviously he's a massive football fan. He said, I didn't even know what a red card was. He also said that.
Really?
Didn't even know what a red card was until that instance. Great. So I think, like you said, it's unprecedented. Has it set a precedent? Because obviously there are other teams who will say, well, if you've done that with
Well, we had
yeah.
literally Kwanzaa was sent off like literally the next game or something, wasn't it? So
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
think,
should the English FA appeal and the
yeah,
French FA, the Belgian FA also made a statement and said this is
and
uh,
UEFA as well, the European Football.
UEFA. Yeah, they were up in arms, UEFA as well. So this doesn't look good, does it? At all. By the way, in saying that, being unprecedented, well. Ronaldo got a red card and was meant to miss 3 games. So he missed the first game in the qualifier and he would have missed the first 2 games of the World Cup. But they had also suspended Ronaldo's red cards to allow him to play in the group games.
Yeah.
So this brings it back down to the money thing when I said about making the draw easy for Argentina to get through with Messi playing in MLS, big star. They want the sport of football to grow because it's like the fifth or sixth sport in America, isn't it? After baseball, basketball, ice hockey, NFL, and so on.
Yeah.
Um, so there's also been that talk as well, too. So, Ronaldo, you needed big stars at the World Cup, and if he wasn't playing, so that's why they suspended his red card. So it's all about the money, isn't it? Um, as we
Yeah.
spoke about with ticket prices and so on. I mean, what's your thoughts?
No, I agree. I don't think it was right to do it. Um, I think if they'd have appealed it and it had been kind of reduced to a yellow on appeal,
Yeah.
and that process, everybody would have probably gone, okay, fine. But when you start, I mean, it's political interference, right? Isn't it?
Yes, this is it.
Bottom line. Um,
And politics
but
and sport shouldn't mix, they say.
well, yeah, I think we're well beyond that. I mean, it always has been,
Yeah,
really,
it's
but
happened many times in different situations as well.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes I think it has to, but I think, yeah, not a good look. Just um, as you say, it sets a precedent, and where do you draw the line? I mean, anybody can appeal and speak to the right person, and you get it overruled. But
Yeah,
ultimately, I think that in a way affected the US team because they didn't play very well against Belgium. They lost 4-1, didn't they? Motivated the Belgium team, but
absolutely.
I didn't see it. But the Americans apparently were quite kind of deflated, and people, the integrity of the game and the team and stuff,
Hmm.
uh, certainly affected by that. So
Yeah. And we're not going to get political about these things, but like you said, it really did motivate the Belgian players, and they played well. I just saw the highlights the next morning because there was nowhere else to stay out for that game.
no,
Shattered already. So when I saw the result, and I think majority of the footballing world were quite pleased about that. The funny
yeah,
thing is about Balogun. Do you know the story about him?
no, what's that?
Right. So he's of Nigerian heritage.
Right,
His mum is Nigerian at least. I don't remember where his dad is from. So the reason he plays for America because he has an American passport because he was born in America
right,
because they refused to let his mum board the plane back to Europe because she was heavily pregnant, which
uh,
meant he was born in America.
okay,
Therefore, is able to get a passport on the birthright citizenship rules,
mm-hmm.
which Trump wants
Jump.
to remove.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
Which the Supreme Court turned down, so there's a
Mm.
whole political situation regarding. So there he's
Ironic.
intervened regarding a player who's a Brit, speaks like a Brit, like Olesia,
Yeah,
uh, intervening regarding a player who's never even lived in the US, right, to ensure that their best player can play in the World Cup with a birthright citizenship passport. Mr. Trump,
yeah. In a nutshell,
you know, check it.
the obscurities.
The paradox, isn't it? Like
Mm.
seriously, mate, as well. And so that was one controversy. Did I tell another one?
You got one about some with Paraguay and some racism coming from Paraguay politician or something.
Yeah, so some senator, Paraguayan politician and senator after the Paraguay game tweeted or sent out some post, whatever his tweet or X or whatever, I don't know where, making some post criticizing Mbappe. And it was perceived as racist. I haven't read them. I've just seen clips on the news and people talking
Mm.
about it as well. So a lot of people have come, obviously, rightfully so, in defense of Mbappe. Mbappe also replied to say, racism doesn't belong in football, and FIFA said something. And just yesterday, this reading, she sent out a statement saying, "Oh, but I don't represent these. It was just in the heat of the moment, and so I'm sorry for making these remarks because even the Paraguayan government have said this is not something that we stand for as a
Distanced.
country
Yeah.
against themselves." Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, not very nice. At least
No.
it's a bad taste in the mouth, isn't it? When these politicians, and I think she is from that side of politics as well,
Right. Okay.
too. So yeah, but
Mm.
it's good that there's been support. Again, political interference. politicians getting involved in politics and
Yeah,
making very inappropriate remarks as
yeah,
well.
it's not
So
good.
yeah, but some drama.
Lots of drama. It's been a good World Cup overall, though. I don't know. What's your thoughts on the? I mean, Cape Verde obviously did really well in the previous round against Argentina, didn't they? 3-2. Goalkeeper has become a superstar.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts in general on the expansion of the World Cup? I think
I think I've enjoyed the World Cup. I think, like I said,
a
when you
lot of
get down
people.
to the business end, the last 32, the last 16, so has the expansion worked? In a way, you could say that you're getting more teams in the World Cup. It is more global. These teams like Uzbekistan and so on still going to get beaten heavily. But then you do have surprises, like you said, Cape Verde won. I think Carousel playing as well was really good. By the way, can I just say this about Cape Verde? It's not a surprise. Because just like Norway in the qualifying rounds, they finished top of their group and they're very well organized and they play very good footballer as well, knocking the ball about, very offensive. And
Quite athletic players and stuff as well. Isn't it?
yeah. So it's nice to see these teams in the World Cup, but it's been enjoyable. I think the
Mm,
stadium has been a fantastic and amazing stadiums actually, kind of very steep though. Can you imagine like
yeah.
because obviously they're for American football, not for you, but like feel like you're looking down all the game, like almost falling out of your seat.
Mm,
But it's nice to see, and regardless of ticket prices, and people obviously had to get loans or something, or a mortgage or remortgage the house to actually get out there and travel and buy a ticket. But the stadiums have been full, nonetheless.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Um,
you've been enjoying it?
yeah, I have. It's I mean, there's been a lot of games. Obviously, not able to see every single game, but
Mm,
I think the standard's been high. I think we discussed this. I think off air that the professionalism of a lot of the players because they're playing in a lot of different leagues now, and just with
mm,
technology from like a statistics and training methods and stuff like that. I think the gap between the top teams and the lower teams is a lot smaller, isn't it? And this is
yeah,
why teams are, like Norway, for instance, are
yeah.
doing very well, and Curacao, and yeah, a few smaller countries have kind of got results, haven't they?
Mm,
So those other teams that perhaps were kind of the middle to sort of upper teams, they're being overtaken by the lower teams now in a way. So,
yeah.
teams that I mean, Saudi Arabia done well in previous World Cups, been awful in this one. I don't think they even got a point. Um, yeah, like you mentioned, sort of Paraguay and um,
Like football royalty, Brazil, Germany,
yeah,
Holland knocked
Netherlands,
out.
mm,
Netherlands knocked
yeah,
out.
Croatia,
Croatia
yeah,
out.
Czech Republic didn't do anything.
Nah.
Um, so yeah, so some, as I say, sort of some of the teams that were kind of the middle bracket teams and some of the upper teams, yeah, they're being really pushed by again teams from other places. Australia have done well.
Yeah.
They
USA did well,
Yeah, USA did well, yeah. Canada did as well, to be fair. So it's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's all good
Yeah.
for, just you want of course, I want England to win 7-0 every game. If you're watching as a neutral, you want it close, right? You don't want a game where a team's just
Yeah.
5 or 6-0 and there's no competition. Still, teams like New Zealand have got some work to do, but
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
their strongest
Yeah.
sport either, right? Um, but no, overall, I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I think it's been a really good World Cup so far, and the best is hopefully yet to come. Getting into the serious part of it.
Whew.
Um,
Quarterfinals, mate.
yeah, what do you
First
think
one
then?
today.
So we spoke about France and Morocco and England and Norway. What do you think Argentina, Switzerland, and Spain, Belgium?
Spain. And it's funny you mentioned about Belgium, because they kind of scraped through to the qualifying rounds as well. And then obviously won this game again. So they weren't looking that good during qualifiers
No,
at all. But like I said, they've come to the party now, haven't they? Spain don't look like the Spain of old, when
no,
they're putting the
but
ball about
they
and
haven't even
stuff.
let a goal in yet, though.
I don't know, actually.
They
But
haven't.
yeah, have they not?
Nope.
Interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're not scoring 3, 4 goals, are they? Like they've done in the
No.
past, like battering teams. They won the European Championship, then they won the World Cup, then they won the Euros again. So not the same
Mm.
Spain. So that's going to be an interesting game against Belgium. Belgium will be well up for it. They should be well up for it. I think De Bruyne didn't start that America game. I don't know. Actually, don't quote me on that. and whether they like be brave and they say, okay, De Bruyne and other big players
Mm.
like Ronaldo has been talked about Ronaldo because he's playing it affected Portugal. You
Yeah,
have other players, but because he's such a big name, and
yeah.
maybe that's why Portugal got knocked out. So Spain, Portugal, Spain, Belgium. I'm going to go for a Belgium win.
Okay,
France, they're going to beat Morocco.
okay. What about Argentina, Switzerland? Do you think Switzerland can get past them?
Switzerland, and then will beat Argentina, and then England will beat Norway.
Okay.
And
So
then it's going to
France,
be England, France World Cup
England,
final.
France World Cup final. Wow, that would be
Fingers crossed.
very stressful.
Yeah. That's why you want Morocco to kick out France.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game as I've already mentioned as well. We're gonna get excited about that game as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
Nice.
mate.
Right. I think that's a good way to wrap up our World Cup discussions. But
Mm.
quickly, let's catch up on the Premier League. What's bubbling? Transfer news and Glasner going to Nottingham Forest was an interesting one. You know,
Yeah,
he's the old Crystal Palace manager's now at Forest. They could be
yeah.
sleeping giant. They are.
I
It'd be
was
good.
I was surprised, especially
It'd be good for them.
how many managers they've gone through with their owner.
First week he turns up though, they sell Anderson to Man City for
Yeah.
80. At
So
least he's
has
got
he
some money to spend.
has he signed though? Yeah,
Anderson,
yeah.
yeah, I think so. It's done.
It's done. It's done.
Mm.
Okay, so that's one transfer. But yeah, going to Forest, I was like surprised by that. There's been some transfer
Tonali,
dealings. Say again.
Fernandez, your guy's gone to Spurs. So's Tonali now as well.
Excellent. 85 million for Fernandez. Take it all day long. Doubled our money, but I think Southampton had a sell-on fee of like 10, 15%, something
Okay.
along those lines. I think 15%. I take that all day long, to be honest with you. He's a top player and he's not going to want to play in the championship. And then Tonali, I mean, where's Tottenham getting all this money from? Just 100 million.
Mm,
All right. Um, some players, Chelsea, Man United have bought two midfielders, one 35 million Brazilian from Atalanta, and another Brazilian from Chelsea. I think it's going to go through today
okay.
for 50 million. Edison or something like that, or Henderson. I just read it today and I don't know. So they've splashed out the cash on some centre midfielders.
Yeah. Newcastle as well, right? Newcastle bought some guy from Ajax, I saw. Never heard of him, but
There's
no.
talk about them wanting to buy the Norwegian guy, or was it Arsenal? Because Arsenal are still in the discussions about Rodgers, isn't it?
Yeah, Rodgers and Guimaraes now as well, the Newcastle midfielder.
Yes, that was the headline today about Guimaraes not wanting to continue at Arsenal.
He was
At
Newcastle.
Newcastle, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. He's gone back from Brazil camp. Obviously, they got knocked out, and he's saying he wants to leave. Um, we've signed Leeds like third choice goalkeeper or something on a freebie, so he's now joined Arsenal. So that's the only signing we've done so far.
Who?
Leeds United, French, 26-year-old, like second, third choice goalkeeper.
Oh, right.
Liked him.
Right, let's have a look. So, sorry, going back, May not agree a deal for Chelsea Santos. Um,
Andre Santos.
so, what's his name? That's it, Andre Santos, 50 million. So, they're
Okay.
reinforcing their midfield there. You get Yimares. I mean, if you get Yimares, you don't go for Rodgers, do you?
Yeah, different kind of player, I think.
Who
Rodgers more
who
on
who
the
would
left.
you like to out of the two? Who do you prefer?
I think we'll get both, actually. I think they're different positions, really.
Ooh, you're going to do like a Tottenham and a Man United, just buy two midfielders. Like I said, they are different players. And
Mm.
then who would you get rid of? Or would you just have them as squad players, so it's Champions League and stuff,
I
isn't
think
it?
Norgard's going to most likely go. So we've got a spot there. Um, and we need another one, I think, anyway. There's still kind of a few rumours about Erdegaard, but I don't think he'll go, but you never know.
Yeah.
Um,
And by the way, just going back, Newcastle have bought Toure for 43 million from Hoffenheim.
never heard of him.
Ooh. Listen to this. The Ivory Coast forward is not about to stop grinning as the former Hammarby teammate Nahir Bezara explains. So he played for Hammarby
Mhm. Wow. Okay.
this Torre. They went to Hoffenheim from Hammarby to Torre. Swedish Stockholm team, Hammarby for our listeners out there. So again, that Nordic touch too.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
You knew that because
Everything I do
when
is
we plan our shows, we
a,
do this kind
a
of thing.
plan as well. Everton agree a 24 million deal for Chelsea winger George. So Chelsea
Never
are
heard of it.
getting rid of some players.
Yeah, never heard of
But
that
they're
guy.
such a big squad, they need to get rid of them, innit?
Mm.
So there's movement in the transfer market. Uh,
Interesting. What's going on in the championship then? What's happening down at West Ham? Anything? You're just
well,
selling.
what did I say to you before coming off here? I said, I go onto the BBC website and obviously the football and it's like World Cup and Premiership. I was like, well, I'm going scrolling through and obviously there's nothing about West Ham. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I've got to log on to the Championship page to see any gossip, what's going on at West Ham.
BBC/championship.
Yeah,
A whole new world down there, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Nothing to be honest with you, mate. Well, actually, there has been some movement. So now Nuno has got a new assistant manager, assistant
Okay.
trainer, signed today, this week. Uh, he worked with him at Forest, Wolves, and a couple other clubs
All right.
before that. So he's someone he knows well. The other guy we have who came in January, and maybe like I said about the upturn of coincided with the upturn of our results, left at the end of at the end of the season. So now Nuno has brought this guy in. So you see, regarding transfers, nothing really. Somerville, big talk about him going. I can see him going, but again, 15 mil plus, be nice, put into
Yeah.
the bank. And I think if we just keep our core player of teams, because they've come back for pre-season training now this week.
Yeah.
Um, so it's nice to see the videos and see the players come. So we'll see what happens up until the transfer window closes, because I'm sure there's some players who don't want to be there.
I had a
Wilson has
little.
gone to Brentford, I believe, or may go to
Who?
Brentford.
Who?
Wilson, Callum Wilson.
Okay. I had a
Brentford
little.
set to sign Wilson after West Ham exit. So
Mhm.
for long this
I
contract.
had a little cheeky rumor about Wan-Bissaka coming to the Arsenal.
Yes, that as
Just
well. That as well.
as a
But
cover if we get rid of Ben White.
mm,
I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. Don't like his. I've seen him plod back for West Ham, but maybe he'll get a rocket up his arse if he comes to Arsenal.
and he just got this style just looks a little bit lazy,
Lethargic. Mm.
lethargic. But he does get back and use these long legs. That is, some of the tackles he does make. But like I said,
When he was at Palace, like that's why Man United bought him, right? Because when he was at Palace, they said he would get another one of these kind of like South London cage players. Like he was
mm,
really impossible to get past, like one on one defensively. He was just amazing at like blocking.
he's a good player, but like you say, just need to do it consistently the whole time. And sometimes I just think.
Mm.
But playing a team like Arsenal will be, he'll have that cover and different kind of mindset playing at a
Yeah,
huge
he wouldn't
club
be
like
expected to run up and down the wing constantly at
yeah,
Arsenal. You're just getting the ball forward to Saka and Madueke and letting them do it. It's
and a few overlaps. But yeah,
yeah, a
do
few.
you know what? I quite liked him at West Ham, Wan-Bissaka. I don't criticize it. There are times you think, oh God, but on the whole, I thought he's done quite well.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously something up with him though. Why didn't he stay at Man United longer? I couldn't.
Well, he was there for a long time, and they bought him for 50 million, so he was there for like 4 seasons, and then they just fell out of favour. And then
Mm,
obviously we bought him for 15 mil. So if we sell him to you lot for 25, then that'd be happy days, isn't it?
yeah. How old is he? It must be. What's he like? Late, like 27 or something now.
So I'm thinking his mid to late 20s. I don't know. I can Google it. Wan Bissaka.
Have a quick look, mate. Have a quick look.
Uh, and he's at the World Cup as well.
Yeah, he
So
was there with Congo, wasn't he?
yeah, 28 years of age.
Quite. He's 28. Okay.
Yeah, coming back to Championship, it was quite funny because obviously they have a round up all the Premiership players in the World Cup, and obviously there's a number of Premiership, Championship players playing for like Australia now, West Ham, So there's some of these other players in the Championship playing for these smaller teams,
Mm,
representing the Championship at the World Cup. So that's kind of
yeah.
fun to see as
Yeah.
well. Sure, there'll be
Right.
much more to talk about when we meet next time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to do one before the semi-finals and speed up a bit more of our editions. I think we can
Yeah.
do that once the quarterfinals are over. We'll do a semi-final edition and then a final edition, I guess, and then we'll be back to the Prem Pulse.
Come on, England. Come on, England.
Yeah, thanks for that. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for listening in, and enjoy your football. And we'll catch you on the next episode. See you
And
soon.
don't forget to follow us on our
Socials. Yeah,
socials.
Instagram, TikTok. Find the Prem Pulse podcast on all the important places.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah. Hopefully they're watching us on YouTube as we speak. But
Yeah,
you
brilliant.
never know. But we'll see you soon. See you next time. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.